Hallo zusammen! Today we're gonna take a closer look at Rammstein's song Amerika, linguistically speaking, meaning lyrically, what is interesting about it and what can you take away from it in terms of learning the German language. Let's find out. Now, longtime viewers of this channel may say, well, haven't you actually tackled that song before, Dave? I remember a very old video of yours where you've actually talked about that song before, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, well, no, you are not mistaken. I've talked about this song before, but only about a few separate lines, not the song in total. And that's why I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna give the song the justice it deserves, because it is a very semantically rich and thought-provoking song. Spoiler alert. But what is it actually about? Why is it titled Amerika with a K instead of a C and everything? And I don't get it. What is going on? Amerika, which is the German spelling with a K, a recurring distinction when it comes to similar words in both English and German, by the way, was released as both a single and as part of the album Reise Reise in 2004. Now, this information is not only nice to know, but I guess you could also argue it even allows for a more in-depth understanding of the backbone to the song. The song was written and released in the early weeks and months of the Iraq War, which started in 2003. In addition, digital technology made in America increasingly reached other parts of the world. There was no Facebook yet, no Instagram, no Twitter, not even YouTube, but the rise of Google, Amazon and eBay was still very much noticeable, also in Germany. What I'm gonna extrapolate on is my personal lyrical interpretation of things from my German point of view, listening to the lyrics as a native speaker. In other words, not everything I'm gonna mention necessarily resembles my personal point of view. Sometimes it may, and other times it may not. What's interesting arrangement-wise is that the track starts off with the chorus, not the first verse. We're all living in Amerika. Amerika ist wunderbar. We're all living in Amerika. Amerika, Amerika. What I love about this song is its semantic richness. It manages to highlight international dependencies, influences, cultural imperialism, including exported products, ideas and the like from America into the whole world. This broad sense of connection, whether it's wanted or forced upon, also exists on a lyrical level. The chorus combines English with German in a quite seamless way. Hearing just this chorus at the beginning of the song, you may get an exclusive, appreciative and positive impression, which is even stated in line 2. Amerika ist wunderbar. As a side note, I reckon Amerika is referring to the USA in specific and not necessarily the entire continent in this context. The potential duality of the song's fundamental meaning with both positive and negative connotations also gets expressed in the fourth line. Amerika, Amerika. Because, as simple as it may seem, die Wiederholung, the repetition, could be interpreted as either positive, appreciative, or even somewhat flattering. We are thankful for everything the American industry and way of life has brought us worldwide. Products, the idea of the American dream, being the world's police, taking care of other countries and territories in the world, and so on. Or it could be interpreted in a more critical way and quite the opposite to this. America is everywhere. Every new trend will get to us just a few days or weeks later. We are depending on the power of Silicon Valley, social media companies from the US. Our own cultural identity has shifted immensely through assimilating with the American way of life, American products, and so on. Once again, the idea of cultural imperialism, exporting your own culture into other parts of the world with the implied intention that your own culture is superior and the best option for everyone else. The same is true for the inclusive use of the first person plural, personal pronoun we, wir. We're all living in Amerika, even though we don't have to be or aren't there physically, because America is everywhere. Magic. However, I do feel the critical point of view, the critical side, comes more to the foreground in the following lines and the first verse. Wenn getanzt wird, will ich führen, auch wenn ihr euch alleine dreht. Lasst euch ein wenig kontrollieren. Ich zeige euch, wie es richtig geht. Wir bilden einen lieben Reigen. Die Freiheit spielt auf allen Geigen. Musik kommt aus dem Weißen Haus und vor Paris steht Mickey Mouse. What I really appreciate about songs like Amerika by Rammstein is that no matter where you are on the political spectrum, for instance, what your preferred ideologies are, whatever, your take on the world. You can't deny that it is a very rich song and it is thought-provoking. It gives food for thought, and quite a lot actually. That to me is good art. When it's able to resonate with you, whether it's just on a musical level and or on a lyrical level, for instance, when we're talking about music. And I think this song really excels in that. Especially the first part of this verse always stood out to me. The dancing metaphor is such a strong way to tackle interdependencies on a broad level, especially in today's political Western world. When we decide to pursue certain common interests, I, America aka the USA being the lyrical I here, which in itself is an interesting choice, actively want to be the leader of the alliance. And I even feel I have the right to lead the dance, in case you dance alone. And maybe you don't know that you need a partner, but yeah, here you go, now you know. Staying in this frame of mind, the second part of the first verse almost downplays potential risks and shows potential impacts this leadership role will have on American allies. Or maybe even those who don't want to be that. In German, line 2 could be summed up in a single term, die Scheinheiligkeit. Literally speaking, the shine holiness. Which sounds quite positive, doesn't it? It's a shine bright like a diamond. That's positive, isn't it, Dave? Right? It means hypocrisy, a holier-than-thou attitude, arrogance, and a level of self-confidence that could easily turn into detrimental naivety and hence reach the exact opposite. A weaker standing. Freedom plays on all fiddles, everywhere, all the time. Everything's gonna be awesome. Yes, in Germany, Mickey Mouse, Disney and the like are very popular as well. I myself was an avid reader of the Mickey Mouse magazine, for instance, in my childhood. And I love the Disney movies. Hercules and, is it Mulan? On a linguistic level, it's once more the approach, the addressing of the recipient of these lines that evokes a certain common understanding of superiority and inferiority. While the first part of this verse focuses on the reflexive perspective I, ich. The second half shifts to the we, wir, and with that the aspect of dependence comes up. Okay guys, brace yourselves, maybe this is the dance that we're talking about. The Dependence. I actually like that one. After the chorus, the second verse enters the scene. Ich kenne Schritte, die sehr nützen und werde euch vor Fehltritt schützen. Und wer nicht tanzen will am Schluss, weiß noch nicht, dass er tanzen muss. Wir bilden einen lieben Reigen. Ich werde euch die Richtung zeigen. Nach Afrika kommt Santa Claus und vor Paris steht Mickey Mouse. The first half remains in the established dancing metaphor. The lyrical I, aka America, knows the right Schritte, der Schritt, singular, die Schritte, plural, and even steps that may bring a flourishing economy, wealth and the like, which is indicated by the verb nützen, to benefit. I know the steps that will benefit you, not just me, but especially you. But I, as America, take part in the same game. I also want a piece of the cake and literally profit from the relationship, so make sure to follow my dance steps in order to not fall out of line. Once again, you could interpret all this in either an economic, cultural, and a political way, apart from the fact that all three things are interlinked anyway. From a linguistic point of view, Till Lindemann's choice of using the noun der Reigen is quite interesting and another good example of a certain poetic feel for language, and using outdated or older terms which you wouldn't use, read or hear in modern German or daily German at all. Let's move on to the exclusively English bridge. And for the sake of learning some German, I'm gonna read the German translation of it. Dies ist kein Liebeslied. Dies ist kein Liebeslied. Ich singe nicht in meiner Muttersprache, nein. Dies ist kein Liebeslied. For das Liebeslied, Singular, die Liebeslieder, Plural, the love song, and die Liebe, the love, and das Lied, Singular, die Lieder, Plural, the song. The last two choruses both are mainly the same as before, but with slight variations. We're all living in America. Coca-Cola, Wonder Bra. We're all living in America. America, America. Some, I guess, may say, well, this is a bit too in-your-face type of style, with the second line mentioning American inventions that were mass exported into basically the entire world, but I'd argue it serves its purpose in a way. It makes for a nice, comprehensible rhyme. We're all living in America. Coca-Cola, sometimes war. We're all living in America. America? America. Also shows how sometimes, in certain situations with certain signs, it's just a quite short way from Wonderbra to sometimes war. Or, to come full circle with this interpretation, I will lead the dance either way, and that entails all consequences. I'll do it my way, the way I see fit in my role of being the world's police, and if you want to be my ally, and I think you want to be that, you should not oppose my decisions. It would be wise, my friend. In a way, the direct combination of Coca-Cola and sometimes war makes me think of the Germans saying Zuckerbrot und Peitsche, which literally means sugar bread, meaning the Coca-Cola, and whip, the Peitsche, sometimes war. Or the English equivalent, carrot and stick. It's basically writing a two-sided strategy which is supposed to keep your influence and control in any case. I think it's quite an interesting topic which doesn't really get touched on too often in music, let alone art in general, as far as I'm concerned. And once again, I think the song definitely makes for a thought-provoking lyrical journey, which gets underlined by the equally thought-provoking music video. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, comment, share, do all the YouTubey things. Check out the video description with many interesting links down below, such as my socials and support options such as patreon.com/davefinitely, and for instance, my YouTube channel membership and the like, if you want to, of course. Thanks for watching once more and definitely see you next time. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.